Excellent. I sent you one. I sent a
Okay.
link. Yes.
Okay. Just excuse me for a minute. Let me check it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh.
TWRIGHT, right. TO2TABENUSIC.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's the Sawuuboonaa Show, and it's the African Women Show. I'm so excited to have you here this morning, afternoon, evening, night. I'm not sure where you're joining us from, but I'm sure that you're definitely in the right place at the right time. So, if you're here for the first time and you've never met me before, my name is Dr. Louisa Akaizo, and I am the founder for Women Who Win Africa. Yes. So if you're a woman, happy International Women's Day. I know that was yesterday, but it's the whole month, really. We cannot celebrate women for just one day. It has to be the whole month. I am so excited to have you here. How was your yesterday? I'm not sure why we are freezing. Does it look like I'm freezing? Sister Adrian, it looks like I was freezing for a minute. Okay, we'll be fine.
Sometimes.
So do us a favor by jumping into the comment box and let me know where you're joining us from, what city, what country, and who are you? We want to get to meet you. And do us a favor, as another favor, and tag people's names that you want to be on the show. So anyone that you know should be here, tag them and bring them into the show. And what we're going to do is another 2 minutes, we'll be listening to some great music. We have a really special guest. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't know if you can feel it, how excited I am, because I just feel like I want to scream. I have Her Excellency here right from Zambia. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be awesome. And there's so much that we're going to share with her. There's so much. And, it wasn't a mistake that we brought her here to celebrate the International Women's Day, especially looking at, the theme for the year and the work that we're trying to to and trying to achieve, and even with the project we're taking to Kenya. I just felt, what's the best person to be here in the show at this time? And so she is amazing. She walks the talk, and there's so much that you're going to be learning from her. So give us a moment. We're going to go back and just listen to some music. And Facebook, do not shoot me because I do not have the right to this music. But any way that you have African women, there's always great music to listen to. So
Absolutely.
we're going to do that, and this is coming from Nigeria. It is um, Tim Godfrey for a moment, and we'll be right back as we invite others. Thank you.
The music is very low in
Is it?
volume.
I think it's the
Or is it
network.
me?
It's the network.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry.
So are you guys freezing there? Cold?
It is cold.
A very big God. Dr. Wadi, you are welcome. Say hello to Canterbury, Kent for me. This my God, a very big God. This my God. Hmm. This my
Greetings from our YouTube audience, B Marwa. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Dr.
Hey, Dr.
Julia.
Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Julia. Thank you for joining us from Canada. I hope it's not going to get colder just because Dr. Julia got here, but welcome. Uh, Thank you so much. It's great to have you in the house. Thank you. You are awesome. Thank you so much, my sister from Nigeria, another person from Canada. What's going on? They're bringing the cold. Bonsi is here from Canada. I'm a little bit worried, but welcome, ladies. It's great to have you in the show. Thank you so much for making out the time to be here. If you're not registered with StreamYard, it might not be showing your name, but I'm going to bring you on. If you can at least type out what your name is, we would like to give you a shout out and what country are you representing. That's something that we really want to know because our guest today is coming all the way from Zambia. And it would be great for her to see, the diverse women leaders that we have in our community. Of course, Coach Kemi is here from Nigeria. I am
Whoop,
Nigerian.
whoop, whoop.
Dr. Julia, who is Ghanaian. Adrian is Ghanaian as well. And
Ooh.
of course, Bonsi said he said it's not cold. Okay, so someone said it's not cold. So I'm going to believe you for 2 minutes until the snow shows up. And then we know. Welcome, my sister, Dr. Chi, is right here from the UK, but she's also Nigerian. Thank you so much for making out the time to be here. We are here. Ellen says she's representing Gambia. Wonderful.
Hello, Ellen.
So come in and let us know what country you are representing. Okay, it's so important that we give you a shout out right here in the show. We're so excited that you made out time to be here. And let me know if you can hear me loud and clear because it looks
Hi,
like sometimes the video is freezing. I'm not sure
Dr.
what's
Louisa. Dr. Louisa, a few people are trying to join on Facebook
okay.
in the and they're saying membership is pending. So somebody needs to say yes to their membership
Okay,
so that
awesome.
they
That's
can.
wonderful. That's wonderful. We're going to kick just that. Wanjiru, please help us with that. For those who are trying to join the community, this is so amazing. What a great time to be alive when women are coming together, to lift each other up, to do great and wonderful stuff. Thank you so much. I think someone is going to get you in and into the community. I can see a lot of people trying to join the community. Her Excellency, I told you it's a show that everyone has been waiting for you. People are excited to see you. I'm not sure you know how much work that you do just because you're used to doing it on a daily basis. But we're watching you and we're just so inspired that it is possible. So, I mean, when we put up the post, I've been having messages that, is she really coming? I said, yes, she's coming. So come in and ask questions and learn how it was done, that it is possible. I mean, there's a lot of challenges, I know that, but the fact that you do it so flawlessly, and that's what we want to learn today. So, our guest for today is Her Excellency Chishala Kateka. But before I get her to speak to us, we're going to go around with these amazing ladies who are presenting here with me today. I'm telling you, they're so beautiful. So let's first of all begin with my sister, Adrian. Adrian, can you introduce yourself for a minute and let the audience know who you are?
Hi, Streaming Live family. I am Adrienne Davis, and I am currently in Rochester, New York, in the United States. I am a proud diasporan woman. Um, my professional life brings me to City Council, where I am the legislative assistant working for neighborhood business and development, as well as parks, public works, and people. So I am blessed to have two of the largest departments to summarize legislation for council for in the city of Rochester. And I look forward to interacting with everyone during this live presentation.
Thank you so much, Adrian. It's always awesome to be working with you. Thank you, my sister. And over to you, Coach Kemi. Can you take a minute to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you so much for having me here. You can hear me. My name is Kemi Oyeshala. I'm the founder of How to Think Global Solutions Limited. And in there, we teach you literally how to think. We are fearless women, so we teach you how to be fearless. We don't do fear. It's not a matter of everybody is afraid. We can't move forward. We can't change nations that way. So we do that through one-to-one coaching, therapy sessions, challenges, and I have various little bits like I'm just starting the How to Think Hospital, where we don't have a physical hospital, we have a virtual hospital, and we will cure you because it's just thinking that gets you sick. So we'll fix you up if you come into that hospital. And we have other things, work with young women, older women, young people, and so many other things we do. We have a How to Think University, we have a coaching certification, and we're excited to work with women because just like our guest said, if women get into this politics thing, into nation building, nations will change. And that has been established through research. So I look forward to serving you. Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa.
Thank you so much, Coach Kemi. Every time that I have Coach Kemi in the room, I'm always wondering, I'm like, am I thinking right? Because she always reminds me, right, of this great a quote from James Allen. And I don't know, Coach Kemi, I don't know if you've come across this both quotes. And it talks about how the mind is a garden, whereby
Yes.
sometimes you have the weeds growing wild and sometimes they are cultivated. And I just begin to wonder, I'm just like, sometimes you see people on the road, especially if you drive and you see some people who are a little bit crazy. You're wondering, like, what's going on through his mind, though? It looks like there's some kind of weed going in and out. So if you've been having some stinking thinking, listen, you got help. You
Oh.
got help here within our organization, within our platform. You can get to work with Coach Kemi. Okay, we have a session that is ongoing right now, which is wonderful. They should be having a class today. Uh, yes, it said the mind is indeed a garden, Dr. Julia says. Absolutely. So you need to know what you put in there. And that also, brings us to our Her Excellency Chishala, because when I see women who are this powerful and audacious, it comes from the mind. She doesn't wake up in the morning not sure what she's gonna do. And she's gonna tell you. I mean, she didn't tell me this, but I know. I know straight up. She can't listen. You can't be doing what she's doing and you're not sure who you are. Okay? You can't be doing what she's doing stuck in what happened to you 25 years ago. No, sir. You have to know what your purpose is, where you're going, who you're going with, and even when people are not going with you, sometimes you have to go alone. I follow her on a daily basis, and I'm just like, please, can Her Excellency just adopt me for 2 days because I love this woman with the work she's doing? Because sometimes you need to be able to stand alone. It's not going to make sense. It's only when you're winning that's when you're going to have people say, oh my goodness, I know Her Excellency. But when you're going through the process, it starts with your thinking. It starts with your reasoning. It starts with your self-image. My coach and mentor, John Maxwell, always says that you cannot outperform your self-image. So if you see yourself as an ant, you're not going to become Her Excellency tomorrow. Okay? It's just not possible. You have to see yourself like who you are becoming. You have to get to the stage where you can visualize and before you begin to move forward. So don't get me started today because it's not Sunday. Sunday we love to preach. I'm just gonna stare off and allow Her Excellency to do her thing today. Because this woman, and I'm going to share a little bit about her. The first thing I want you to know is she is Zambian. She is African. So if you're in the show or you've ever wondered, like, can an African woman do it? Cut it off. She just did it. She did it and she's still doing it and she's ready to hold your hands to show you how to do it if you're ready. She's ready to do that. It is possible. In Africa, it is possible. And I was thinking, can she become a Nigerian for one day? Because Nigeria, oh my God, God is going to have to help us in Nigeria. But having this kind of powerful woman who is walking the talk, who knows exactly what she wants to do, who is, grooming others. I look at her page and I see people who are following her. It's not just women, we have men. But she got up to say, yes, I can. This is what I believe in. This is what my manifesto is. This is what I want to do. And we need a lot more women to begin to shift in their thinking, in their mindset, to reason like that, to visualize, to follow. I mean, maybe you have to just follow her online, and we will get to share how you can do all of that, to learn how did she do it, where did she begin from. So let me just read a little bit about, our guest for today, Her Excellency Chishala Kateka. She is a Zambian businesswoman and a respected corporate leader who has run in August 2021 for the presidential election under the banner of New Heritage Party. So I'm just going to hold it right there. Her Excellency, I'm going to bring you on the screen. First of all, how did you what inspired you? Like how did you even come up with that it was possible? Like, because I know that all Africans are the same, whether it's Nigeria and Zambia, we are also crazy. One thing that is common about Africans is that we are all crazy, right? And that's what makes us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How did you even what inspired you? What did you read a book? Like, was it some kind of fruit that you ate? Like, I want to know, how did that happen? Over to you, Her Excellency.
Okay, so I used to run my own firm, auditing firm, an accountant. I'm an accountant by profession. So I used to work in Botswana for some time. I was there for a number of years. Then when I moved back to Zambia, the economy was doing well. And then after some time, I noticed that the economy was going down. And I took interest in that. And I noted that it's because of our leaders. Our economies do well or don't do well because of our leaders. So, as you have rightly said, Africa, we are all the same. It doesn't matter which African country you come from. We have the same sort of problems. So, what hit me was the fact that if we allow the wrong leaders, then our economy is going to a mess. So this was many years ago, like 1990 something. And I took keen interest to see the sort of leadership we were putting into government. And from that time, I was waiting to see when we would get the right sort of leadership. So Zambia became independent in 1964. We've had 7 men presidents, and the country keeps going down. So while I was waiting for some president to come and do the right thing for Zambia, it hit me that, you know what? Maybe that's not going to happen. And if we don't step up, if you offer yourself and do the right thing, maybe we could just see that change that we need to see. So if you are constantly waiting for someone else to make that difference, it's not going to happen. So why don't you be that difference that you need to see? And that's why I decided to do this, because I've been waiting for this president, and this president isn't coming. And so I have offered myself, because I believe, so you see, a woman, when she's given an opportunity to in a big role, because we've got so many challenges, because we've got so many people that are looking at us and waiting for us to fail, we tend to do well. We put in that extra effort, and we look around to see what we can change to make things work. So women are not self-centered. Women tend to try and make a difference. And that's what I would like to do. I would really, really, really like to make a difference in this country. And I believe that I can, with others, of course. Yeah.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much, Her Excellency. I'm just going to go back to the audience. So many ladies are jumping in. Sheila from Kenya is here. Welcome, my sister. Lynn Montali, I'm not sure what country that is. Can you tell us where you're joining us from? Akuka is right here. Is that not Uganda? Maybe. Welcome, my sister. Please just comment what country. Beatrice is here. Dr. Chineme is here from New York. It's great to have you in the house. And of course, we have another screen on LinkedIn. So if I haven't listed your name, it's because you haven't come in to actually say something. So you want to come in and say something. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you're definitely in the right place. Welcome. It's the Sawuuboonaa Show, and we are here every Fridays and Saturdays. And the purpose of this show is really to celebrate the African woman, to spotlight the work that we are doing. You know, I got this inspiration, a couple of years ago when someone was asked to introduce themselves. I think it was 3 years ago. First of all, it was the Pan African Women's Day, and the theme was celebrating our heroes, right? And I saw that everyone that wrote about our heroes were mentioning the Nana Santawas and the Quinamina Zarias, and I love this women, Wagama Matai. I love this women. But I thought, what about the ones who are leaving? Right? Like, Excellency, like, hello, we have women who are doing work. And so if you think that these women were not good enough, why did you even reason that way? So that inspired me to begin to put together a platform where we can celebrate the African women, because no one is going to celebrate us. No one. We have to tell the world how great and amazing that we are. And that's what we do on the show every Fridays and Saturdays. So if you're a woman who is doing amazing work and you think you should be sitting here, well, I don't know where you've been, because you should send me an email at drluisa@gmail.com, and just share with me your bio and your website and who you are and what you're doing. Or maybe there's a great woman in your country that we should be bringing on the show. Let us know. So today, we've been having this great conversation with Her Excellency Chishala, who is from Zambia. I always mix Zambia and Gambia, but she's from Zambia. Okay, Zambia with the Z. I know we have some Gambians here who are wishing that she's from their country, but she's not. Welcome, my Pelo. It's good to have you. I know my Pelo is from Botswana. I'm getting used to the names. Nihin Lola, where are you joining us from? Thank you so much for joining us. Nia is joining us from Madagascar. Oh my goodness, that feels good to know that Madagascar got an alert to be here. Africa, we are one.
Oh yeah.
Are one. We are one. We are one. And it's so important for us to be able to hold our hands, right? To work together. We are all the same. Just like Her Excellency shared with us, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in a lake, island, in the bush, wherever, we are all the same. We are all sisters from different parents. And that's very important that we establish that. It will help us to be able to work together. So back to Her Excellency. I love how you started. We couldn't find that precedent, so you stepped in. That's a mindset right there. And it is important that we begin to think like that. I'm going to use my country, Nigeria. It's a wonderful, interesting country that I come from. I don't know how many of you know about Nigeria. You haven't been there. You need to research about Nigeria. Beautiful place. Now, I find that, for example, in the last election, we have so many people tear down the leaders online. And so I asked the lady one day, I said, did you vote for the president? She said, no. Okay. Who did you vote for? Nobody. She didn't go out. So why should you complain if you haven't registered in a political party, if you haven't gotten a ticket to vote? Ladies, we need to change that. Because for people like Her Excellency to succeed, you need to get up from your bed. Okay, that's the first step. Get up from your bed, leave the kitchen, get the ticket, and vote. If you don't vote, then we can have the right leader on seat. So it's not about tearing the leaders down. One person did something bad. I don't like this leader. This one is crazy. He's going to turn us down. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Did you vote? Are you part of what is happening in your country, the narrative? Did you offer yourself for help, for volunteer? I know that Her Excellency is probably looking for women to work with her. Did you step out to work with her? Let her even show you what to do. And if you did not, shame on you. We're going to do better next time. So, Her Excellency, before I come back to you, my question, I know Coach Kemi said to me she has a question for us. Coach Kemi, over to you.
Yes, Your Excellency. Um, you said that you were looking, the 7 men had led the country, and up to that time, things were getting bad. So you said you were waiting for someone to step up, another man ostensibly, like fix it. And then it just occurred to you, wait a minute, how about me? And it says here that you led the New Heritage Party. Now, in Nigeria, to lead any party is work. How, I have
Yeah.
two questions in one, I hope. How did you form that party? And what were your thoughts, understanding that politics can be and sometimes is quite dangerous? What were you thinking about your safety, or did you not care? Are you like me, already dead, and no one can kill a dead man?
So I when you want to do something, you need to focus on something, on the why you are doing it. Okay. So it's the first thing is the why I was doing it was more important than anything else. When you look at African countries, all African countries, we are extremely, extremely wealthy, and yet we are poor. Okay. And a few of us were sitting there and saying, why do we allow this? Why do we continue along that in that space? And the simple answer is the fact that we do not allow ourselves to walk in our heritage. Let me explain what I mean, which is why we call the New Heritage Party. So in every country, there is wealth. In Nigeria, you've got oil. In Ghana, you've got your gold. In Zambia, we have loads of natural resources. We've got our land, our trees. We've got a tree called mukula, which is extremely, extremely costly. We've got copper, we've got gold, we've got emeralds. All right. So what we have in most places here's the land, right? And so let me take a newspaper. This is land, right? And on top here are some of the poorest people in the world, and at the bottom here some of the richest wealth in the land, in the world, like the emerald fields. So when they get the emeralds here underneath, these people here don't get anything at all. They don't get a single coin. They don't get anything at all. And that is the injustice that keeps nations poor, because when God gave wealth to nations, his intention was that the people in that nation will derive their livelihoods, or their living from whatever wealth he put in that country. So Zimbabwe has got its wealth, South Africa has got its wealth. And so in Zambia, our president, so even when they do well in terms of economic fundamentals, like the second government that we had, they did extremely well in terms of economic fundamentals, but it didn't click to them that they needed to marry the wealth of this nation to the people of this nation. You get the point? So you can develop your country as 98%, but as long as you leave the in this case the Zambians at 2% or 3%, you haven't achieved anything, and people are unhappy with you because they are poor. They are as poor as they were in 1964 when we got our independence. So what we are saying is we have this message to say it's time that we take our wealth and marry it to the Zambians. The Zambians need to start benefiting from the wealth. So we need to put in place policies that will ensure that Zambians benefit from that. So what is happening, especially in this particular government, is they are busy giving away our mines to foreigners.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with foreign direct
Mm.
investors, but when you bend over backwards
Backwards.
and you do not benefit the indigenous people, then you are doing a disservice to the country. So
Mm.
I would love to go in there, put in policies that will benefit Zambians so that they begin to do well in their own country. And for me, that is the driving force. So we called our party Heritage Party because of the inheritance that God has left us. Yeah.
And were you not afraid at any point to go into politics to run for president, or
No,
you were
no,
already
no, no,
fearless?
no. No, the reason I'm not afraid is because somebody's got to do this. As
Come on.
long as we don't do this, as long as we don't do what I'm talking about, we'll continue to go around in poverty. You get the point. The majority of Zambians are so poor. It is amazing, and it's not right. It's not right at all. And I'm sure that it's the case with most countries. We are not middle income countries. We the majority of the people are below the poverty line. And really, um, look, you and I, we do fairly well. But what about those people? Who's going to
Mm.
speak for them? Do you see what I mean? Somebody has to talk for them. Somebody has to help them so that they can benefit from what is rightfully theirs,
Mm.
and not have a few men at the top because they are okay. They've got 10 cars, 10 houses. Hey, you don't need 10 cars, 10 houses. You can only sleep in one bed at a
One.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this is
Over to you,
wonderful,
ma'am.
Your Excellency. I see that you had served, of course, with the World Bank before now and the government of Zambia. Now, when you got started with this process, was it an easy process? Like, did you have pushbacks? What was the experience when you got up to say, I wanted to run? What was the experience at the polls,
Okay.
the streets?
So the first people to give pushback were some of my relatives because they felt it was too dangerous.
Mm.
You see what I mean? They felt, oh no, why don't you start an NGO? Why not do an NGO? Why do you want to go into politics? Now, an NGO, in my view, it's good, but you don't have the platform that you need to do what you want to
Mm.
do. So your reach is limited. Can I give you an example from the Bible?
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah. So Moses was sent by God to go and get Pharaoh to let the people go, right? The children of Israel, to let them go. Now he could easily have started an NGO and said, you know what, when they beat them up and their backs have got sores, we'll take them, wash the sores, get them healed, and then send them back to make bricks.
Hmm.
But that was not the solution. The solution was go and confront Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. That's policy. That's politics. You get the point. There's a difference there. Because when you confront the root of the problem, you are resolving it once and for all. Whereas if you start an NGO, you heal, you get these guys healed and send them back, they are still in the same position. So that wasn't going to work for me because we need a solution to the problems that we are facing. And so, what I'm seeking, this platform of presidency, so that I can bring solutions to this nation that I would otherwise not be able um, to enforce.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love it. This is so
That's,
good. So we
yeah.
have kind of like shoot at the roots instead of,
Yes.
and we've gone round for a bit. We've gone round for a bit. I can imagine. I mean, when you just kind of said that, it brought to my mind like how many NGOs would have been in the Bible. I mean, God would have started an NGO and trying to put the world together. That would have been interesting. Welcome to joining us for the
Yeah.
first time. It's
Yes.
in the house. I have Angelina is here. a powerful woman leader who is working with women with disabilities. It's so awesome to have
Yeah.
you in the house. Mr. Charles, it's good to have you in the house. The conversation today is with Her Excellency Chishala Kateka from Zambia. She is a presidential candidate. And if you've ever wondered, if in your mind you've thought, is it possible? She's here to let you know that it is possible. She did it and she's ready to share the ropes. So get in the comment box and leave your comments in the comment box. What is troubling, what has been troubling your mind? Why haven't you been able to make that bold? Is fear still, enslaving you in the corner? Or are you still thinking like, Nigerians would say, is it the enemies from your father's house is still holding you down? And you feel like as soon as you get up, you're going to die.
The
Well,
village people.
the village people are chasing you. Well, Her
Yeah.
Excellency is here to
Ah,
you that even though the village people might exist, they've got nothing to do with you. They're doing their own thing. You have an agenda to lead us to the promised land, permit me to say. You have an agenda to bring
Yes.
forth what seemed impossible, and that is what Her Excellency is doing. And so, if you're joining us from Zambia, get in the room and let us know that you're here. Welcome, Bonnie Ilukwe. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you. Sololo is right here from Botswana. Come on, a lot of people from Botswana today. Botswana is trying to
mm,
show off. Botswana is trying to show off. Seriously. Listen, if I haven't called your country, you better get in the comment and let me know what country you're joining us from because Botswana is showing off and showing out. And I'm not going to let Botswana do their thing. Malawi said, I'm here. There you go, Excellency. We're right. Malawi is here. So I'm sure Malawi is not too far from you. So bring
They
in.
are our neighbors, immediate
mm,
neighbors. Yeah.
Oh,
mm.
wow. Awesome. Bring in your questions for Her Excellency.
Yes.
She's right here as I pass this to my sister Adrian. Sister Adrian, please pop your question.
Yes, to Her Excellency Chisala. This bears repeating um, that you identified a problem. You not only identified the problem, you studied the problem. After you studied the problem, you waited to see if there was going to be a shift in leadership. And when that shift did not occur, you said, it is me. You identified yourself as I am the solutionist in this issue. So be the change that you want to see in the world. And I believe our very own Dr. Julia said, be the difference that you want to see. So this bears repeating. So I wanted to just repeat that again. Another nugget, bold point that you made was for leaders, not only in Zambia, but leaders all over Africa, um, is to marry the wealth to the people. Because one thing I realize is that the world needs two things, two entities. One is God, two is Africa, and that is it.
Please, is CNN? Can someone call CNN?
Yeah.
Because they
Can
need
the
to share
West,
this.
yeah, can the West hear this, please? Can you hear that,
Oh,
please?
yes. And I'm in the United States. And for those who are just joining, I'm a proud diasporan with roots from Ghana. But I consider Africa as a whole is me. Even in scripture, God has promised the nations for my inheritance. So I'm personalizing it because it's biblical.
Yes.
The
Yes.
nations are my inheritance. So
Yeah.
here I am on this show with these amazing women from Africa. It's us together. So going back to finding the why, Your Excellency, if you can share, like, what were your steps? Because for some people, it might sound easy. Oh, I know my why. I know why I'm here. But some people can identify it, but don't take those steps. And we had the conversation in regards to people may, like your family, was in fear of your safety. And for us, we call them like gatekeepers. Like,
Yeah.
like how did you not only identify the gatekeepers in politics, but how did you get around it? That's question number one. And I have another one on policy after you finish question number one. If
Okay. Okay. So, firstly, my journey has been very, very, very long. Um, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. Okay, and I've read the Bible extensively, and came to the conclusion, of course, that God has got a purpose for each one of us. And I took the scriptures very, very seriously. The people that know their God, they'll be strong, they'll do exploits, and ask of me and I'll give you the nations, scriptures like that. So applying, one of the things that I believe about church is we are very theoretical. I mean, that is the theoretical aspect of it, but it's not practical. So we needed to step out and do the practical aspects of Christianity. Okay, so one of the first things that I did was I saw that a lot of our young people were not really doing well. Nobody pays a lot of attention. Now, when I talk about young people, I'm talking about the youth from age 18. So when they finish their secondary school, age 18 to 40. Okay, they look really with it, like they know what they're doing, but a lot of them are actually lost because no one is really guiding them. So I did start an NGO called Youth with a Vision for Zambia. Okay. When I did the consultancy with the World Bank and government, I took a 4-year sabbatical. We bought a bus and we were going into the provinces and dealing with, speaking to the youth about the importance of knowing who they are, what their calling is or their purpose in life, that they were not brought on earth to just, go around and do nothing. So each one of them has a purpose. So, and we also spoke to them about the importance of a corporate calling, saying, look, in any area, there can be a group of you and God wants you to do something, to achieve something. And then finally, we spoke to them about mindsets, because mindset, that's the scripture that says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So the way you think determines the way you act. And so a lot of these kids, their thinking was really not on point, and so they were going all over the place. So mindset, we identified about 23 mindsets that are common to Zambians, but we were focusing on the younger people, or to Zambians, which prevent us from succeeding or which prevent us from doing the best that we can. Okay, so we would speak to them, and a number of those youths have turned out okay. So we would go into a province, go there for about a month, and just go around all the towns in that province and speak to them. I think that was the most fulfilling thing I've ever done, because some lives were impacted. So that was now reality hit because your finances dry up. Because one of the mindsets that we were talking about was dependency syndrome. If you are dependent on someone, and if that someone fails, you will not succeed. So I had to go back to work, and I worked. That was in 2006. I worked until 2014, and then I retired. After I retired, I was watching the political space, and when the previous government was in power, I saw that the time was right for me to step out into the political arena. So after I retired in 2014, I was sitting on boards and still watching the political space. And I felt that in 2020 was the right time for me to step into the arena. I left the boards that I was sitting on. I was chairing what used to be Barclays Bank. I was the board chair, which turned out to be ABSA. And then I was also chairing the Competition Commission. So I stepped off those boards and others so that I could focus on the politics. In terms of my family, my grandson is just about to come in. In terms of my family, he's 5, so he might make noise when he's coming in. In terms of my family, I did tell them that, look, I've been trying to do this for years, and eventually they accepted it, and now the rest is history.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Her Excellency. And if you're just joining us for the first time, we're having such an inspiring conversation here with Her Excellency Chishala Kateka, who's the presidential candidate of Zambia. And so, and it's also the International Women's Month. I'm not going to say day because day is not enough. The world should have known that the whole of the month of March, we have to celebrate powerful women and the work that they're doing. Is just beautiful to see. And just to know that it is possible. It is possible. You know, Her Excellency, and you know, I mean, there's an expression in my part of Nigeria. It says, "My heart is red." I feel so good just even knowing that it's possible, right? It's possible. So, and I mean, just guys, don't be surprised when you see me trying to run for presidency because we got to do it. If it's not happening, we have to do it. Somebody's got to have to do it. Somebody has to do it. We can't be complaining, and we have to be able to stir a new movement, a new tribe of women who are hungry for change, just like Her Excellency. She's hungry for change. It's not just about passion, because I think passion has been watered down. It's just a lifestyle word that everybody uses, but you need to be hungry to see things moving. And that's why she had to step up to say, you know what? Nobody is doing it. I'm ready to do it. I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter. And her family said, oh, no, but what are you doing? So many of our families, listen, let me tell you, if you're from a family like mine, they're going to tell you you're not good enough. That's okay. That Hammer is here. Welcome. Welcome, Hammer. Hammer is such a great LinkedIn influencer. It's good to have you here, Hammer. Thank you so much. And your family is going to tell you you're not good enough. Let me tell you, the last people to believe in you are the ones around you. And so that's why sometimes when I hear women say things like, oh, but my cousin didn't even patronize me, I'm like, calm down, sis. Your cousin is not your client. She's just a cousin. Go get your clients from outside, because your family might not see it. When God called you, it wasn't a conference call, so they didn't hear it. So they probably are going to think you're crazy for a minute, and that's okay. That's okay. You keep going as long as you've seen what should be done. You believe this should be done. You believe you're the person for it. Keep going, because people might not support you, but you just have to keep. I mean, if Her Excellency wasn't doing what she's doing today, we wouldn't be here. But it's because she believed in herself. She kept on pushing. She said, I don't know how the road is going to be. She didn't want to wait for all the steps. Probably the only step she had was the next step, which said, get up and move. That's it. She didn't see anything else. But she was ready to go. Like, you've really stirred me up, Her Excellency. And I think everybody feels the same way. Please get in the comment box and just share your thoughts on this session. I see everyone here who's saying it's inspiring. I don't like the word inspiring, because sometimes inspiring sometimes feels like just putting a food in the microwave and bringing it out after 30 minutes and you forget. I want to hear that she was able to ignite the fire in you to do something. That's what I want to hear. She was able to ignite the fire in you. Get up, even if you're not the president, but go and register in a political party. Stop saying, I don't like politics. So, me, I don't really like politics. Hey, you don't like it? Okay, sis, I'm sorry, but we have to change. We have to, change the laws and the policies that are going to favor the women. And the only way we're going to do it is for us to love politics. Okay? So
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
it. When you say, I don't like, I'm not really a politics person, stop it, sis. This year we have to change. This year we must change. We must get involved. Welcome, Ade. It's good to have you. Welcome, Ishoma. It's so beautiful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Ishoma is actually one of our presenters, but right now she's presenting on her way to have the baby, so she's not she's not here on the show. But she'll be back. She'll be back. But she still showed up. And one thing that I heard Her Excellency talk about was she never said, I mean, there were days she probably felt like, am I really doing the right thing? But she kept pushing. She
mm,
kept pushing. She kept doing it. She just kept going, whether people believed in you or not, she just kept going. And this is going to bring me to my next question for you, Her Excellency, is, I love what you're doing with the youth because the youth are the leaders of today, not tomorrow. They're the
yeah,
leaders of today. I'm telling you, these millennials are ready to kick us off. They are ready.
yeah, yeah,
So if you're not going to do the work, the millennials are ready to take it over. I remember back in the days, we would take 6 years to write a book. The millennials are taking 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm just like, sometimes I see their posts. I'm like, Jesus, are you speaking to these people specially? I find the millennials because how is it possible? But they're doing it because they are here with some kind of move and aggression. Like we are ready. And if we're not careful, they will push us to the side and do it. And I'm of the opinion that, hey, if they're going to do it, let's do it. So, Her Excellency, the only thing I wanted to, my question for you is what would you say to that woman who is ready to start today, who says, you know what, I heard you, Her Excellency. Where do I begin from?
yeah. So that's a very good question because I believe that as women, we hold ourselves back a lot for various reasons. Okay, for some of us, we hold ourselves back because we want to keep the peace in the home. You know what I mean? I don't want to be above my partner or my husband. Therefore, you hold yourself back. And 10 years down the line, you're kicking yourself because you wish you had done something. I would like to encourage you to go for it. Don't go in half measures. If you decide to do something, go all the way. Discuss it with your family, discuss it with your husband, if possible, and get buy-in. Don't rebel, but get buy-in, because then you are freed to do what you need to do. Um, when you do make a decision like that, if you're a believer, or I don't know, most people believe in one faith or another, pray about it and get people around you at least not to start fighting you, so that you can, they can be supportive rather than anything else. Now, when then what I want to encourage the women is that we've only got one life, okay? One life, and you have a go at something. You are called to do something. That one thing is what makes you feel fulfilled. It's the thing that you feel I've arrived. Look, I've managed companies before. I've been board chairs of huge companies, but this is me. This is me. I have arrived in my space. This is what makes me feel really fulfilled. Okay, it doesn't pay me. I don't get paid at all, but this is what makes me feel. Oh, if I could get paid, I would really be a happy woman. But this is what makes me feel. So find that space that you feel is you, where even if you were not paid, you'd be happy to do it because you know why you are doing it, and then go for it, and don't hold back. Eventually, you reach a place of convergence, um, where you are doing what you love, what you've been called to do, and then you get paid for it. My prayer is that I'll reach that point of convergence soon. But that's what it is. Don't give up, because giving up is not an option. And make that difference, because whatever it is that you've been called to, no one will be able to do it as well as you, because you've been put together in such a way that you are the best possible person to do that. Your makeup in terms of your academic exposure, your family upbringing, your everything just comes together to do what it is that you have been called to do, because nothing about you was an accident. Everything was by design. And so when you walk in that knowledge, then you confidently go out there and do what you have to do, regardless of what hits you, because sometimes things hit you in the face, eh?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I just wish that we had the offering basket. That was just so good and so profound to hear that you
Thank
are the
you.
best to deliver what it is that you have to do. That was just so good, Her Excellency. That was just so good. I think that everyone needed to hear that, especially at a time such as this, where the world is upside down. And I mean, even in America, the politics, here is it's kind of seeming like a comedy show, but we're just still going every day and just hopeful that it gets better. And just hearing that from you is just so powerful. My final question for you would be, how do you create balance? Because I see that you wear so many hats. It's beautiful to see. I mean, first of all, running for office, that's a lot. And you also mentioned that you have a grandson. You look amazing to even have a grandson. You look really good. And you sit on
Thank
board,
you.
and I'm just like, how does she do it? How? I mean, how are you able to still look so calm and graceful? Because one would think you'll be screaming all over the place, but you're just so graceful, and it just oozes out of you. How are you able to do that? How are you able to create some kind of balance?
Believe me, sometimes. Okay, so during my formative years, when I was, I'd be heading a company or something, I used to scream, "Oh, how come you haven't done this?" And until I realized that we are all at different growth levels, and really the shouting as a woman doesn't help.
Hmm.
You need to be calm. You need to step back and think, and just slow down. Otherwise, you're going to have BP. So there are things that you can change, and things that you can't change. Now, politics is made up of a whole lot of people with different backgrounds. We all come from different backgrounds. Most of the people, especially here in Africa, are not educated. You are dealing with people that think so differently from you. And then you have to realize that, these are the guys, this is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. So you begin to sort of calm down, and realize that, look, if most people come because they think that you have the money, okay? So you once you accept that, then you know how to handle it. At the beginning, I used to dish out money like I was God. Then one day it hit me that I'm not God, and there's no way I'm going to meet everybody. I can't be everything to everybody. So now I slowed down in that space.
Hmm.
So it gives me more of a control to be able to respond appropriately. You know what I mean? So you don't always have to give money. You can answer in a certain way and still get on with what you need to do.
Mm.
Yeah.
We have a question for you, and let me just say hello to Nikki. It's Gear. Nikki is one of our presenters from Eswatini, and but I know she's having fun. She's visiting somewhere. That's why she's not here. But it's great to have you, my sister. There is a question for you on the screen, Her Excellency. It says this
Yes.
year's theme for International Women's Day is Inspire Inclusion. And Ellen, you took that out from my mind. I was thinking about that question, but I said, oh, maybe I shouldn't give her too many questions. How do you incorporate that in spaces and places that you serve? Over to you.
Okay. So yesterday I was on a panel. We were speaking to some young ladies. Young ladies, of course, these are young ladies that are in workspaces. So we're talking about 20 something going 35, that spread. And these are vibrant young ladies, and it's called Girls Gone Political. Okay, so it's one of the groups was Girls Gone Political. So these are girls, young ladies that want to go into politics. And they were saying, look, you older ladies look down on us, and some of you even call us prostitutes and things like that. But we want to get into that space. Could you please? So they were asking me to share with other ladies in politics that I should let them know that these young ladies are actually not prostitutes and things like that. So I was saying to them that I've been doing this since 2020. This is 2024. I haven't seen any of them approach me and say, can you help us? Do you see what I mean? They are not reaching out to be included. You see, politics is quite a difficult. How you enter politics is very important. So if other ladies have gone before you, get them to handhold you through that process, and it will be easier. So what am I saying? We've been looking for young ladies. There have been these young ladies, and that connect hadn't been there. So when we go, that's number one. So we're trying to get these young ladies to come through. And then, so here's my grandson.
What a good looking boy. Hi.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Are you going to be my friend?
Yes.
Okay, good. What's your name?
Mwava.
Mwala. Welcome.
Mava.
Mwava.
Mwava. Okay. Okay, got it. Nice to see you.
Say bye.
Bye.
So the other thing that we try to do is we go right down to the grassroots, the ladies out there in the compounds, in the villages, and we try to encourage the women to join the leadership, because as I said before, women have a different perspective on everything, and they help to bring a balance to wherever they are. So we try to be as inclusive as possible of the women. Unfortunately, like I said before, women do hold themselves back, probably because they've got so much on their plate. So sometimes in deliberate, sometimes it's circumstances. So we do try and bring them on board.
I love it. When I saw the theme, yesterday, I think I put up a post, and I think that for us to achieve this year's theme, we must pay attention to intersectionality, just because of the complexities of several identities that we have, even in the women's space. And I remember 2 years ago, we have a comment here from. I'm so happy that you put on this comment. Angelina is the leader in charge of women living with disabilities, in Nigeria, and she's doing an amazing work. She said, beyond registering with a political party, women should strive for mentorship with politicians of unquestionable characters and who have the interests of the people as their primary goal. Leadership in Africa under the men have recorded some level of success, but I think that with more women elected into political office, there will be a balance and accelerated growth. Look at what Ngozi Nwela WTO is doing. Before ascending that position, she left a mark in her country. Thank you so much for sharing that, my sister. I'm so grateful that you shared that. And of course, the work that you're doing with women who are living with disabilities. Now, it brings me to what I was trying to share with you last year, Her Excellency, 2 years ago. Because over the Christmas period, usually we give out a lot of, support to women in certain conditions in the communities that are the lowest of low, right? And I put up a post on my page, and we had one of our supporters sent us some funds and said we want to support, the widows and the single mothers. And I put up a post on my page, and I said, can you tag women, the widows and the single mothers, 50 each, that need the support, need something, for the Christmas, because some people can't even afford good food during the Christmas period. And the lady came into the comment section and said to me, I am a woman who is deaf. Am I qualified to drop my name? That hit me hard. And I said, a deaf woman is a woman. I only said a woman.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you, and it's because our thinking has always been about how some people have certain abilities, some people are disabled. I hate that word disabled, and that's why I prefer to call them differently abled.
Yes.
You have a different kind of ability from me. You could be having issues with your hearing, does not take away from the fact that you're a woman and can still make a difference. Right? And so when I saw the comment and I said to her, a deaf woman is a woman. So put your name down. And she said, I have so many other women in my community. I said, then put their names down. And so when I saw the theme about the International Women's Day, it's important that every one of us becomes responsible and intentional about our thinking and how we treat even women.
Yeah.
Because I love Brain Brown so much. And she talks about how we compartmentalize and just throw people into different boxes and how we're different from each other, even though we are women. And until we begin to see ourselves as that, so the most tiny and minute and a woman who doesn't have a voice or nobody knows about you in the worst part of the society is still a woman. Until we get to that way of reasoning and thinking, we are still going to come back in March 8th next year without achieving anything.
Yeah.
So I think that more and more of us, and if you're listening to us, right here in the show, you're here as an ambassador to pass on the message that every woman is a woman. It doesn't matter your economic status, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, it doesn't matter where you've been and what you know, whether you went to school, you didn't go to school, nobody cares. A woman is a woman, and we have to be able to embrace each other. And I'm so grateful to God because right now I have a huge number of women living with disabilities in my community, because the minute I got them to understand that we are one, they were able to come in, right? So if we have more people beginning to think that way, I think it's really gonna help us move things forward. So thank you so much. Welcome, Billy from Hollywood. Hollywood is here. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you. God bless you. So I know you had an extra question. Adrian, you said something about policy. What was that? I don't want us to miss that before we go.
Yeah.
Yes, and maybe this is something that can be an action step for a later point in time. But policy is so important. And I know that we've had conversation already just in regards to how it's important to be involved in politics and how laws, policies, resolutions, they affect everyone from the young to the old. So I wanted to ask you a question because that is something that is very dear to your heart. It's a part of your DNA about policies. And to make sure that people in Zambia and all over Africa benefit from the policies at hand. Um, so I wanted to know, like, is there any particular policies that you're interested in writing and seeing that it is enacted upon and approved by um, Parliament? And if there is anything that we can help you as women who in Africa can also assist you with as far as policies.
Okay. So thank you so much for that question. When we started doing what we're doing, we asked ourselves two questions. Okay. The first question was, how do we get in? That's the political side of it. And then the second question is, what do we do once we get in? That is the policy side of things. And both of them need to move together in tandem, meaning we're not going to wait until we get in government to start working on the policies. We're going to work on the policies now so that when we get in, we hit the ground running. That's a woman, right? So the policies that are key to my heart, I spoke about mineral wealth. Our policies in Zambia, we inherited a lot of the laws that we have from the British, like you did in Ghana. You know, Ghana is pretty similar to Zambia, by the way. I was in Ghana in 2021. Yeah. So we inherited a lot of things from the British, and the British, when they came in, their mode of operation was everything was extractive, you know. So they wanted to extract everything, the wealth and everything. So even our education system was such that they just trained us so that we could help them to extract things out of our countries. So, for example, let's look at the land. When you get a piece of land in Zambia, you have a title deed that says, oh, everything on top belongs to you, but everything underneath belongs to the state. That was inherited from the British system because the state wanted to take the emeralds and the copper and the cobalt and everything out of the country. Now, we are saying that's not fair, because if we're talking about heritage, if I get a piece of land and there are emeralds underneath, they must belong to me, because I need to be able to leave something, an inheritance to my children and my children's children. Otherwise, how do I become wealthy? In the States where you are, if somebody finds oil on their land, they become instant millionaires. Whereas in Africa, you stay as poor as you were, even though we found these serious emeralds on your piece of land. And we're saying, no, we've got to change that, because even if I don't have money to mine those emeralds, I can actually go into a partnership with somebody and have value for my share of those emeralds. So I can go into a partnership. Do you see what I mean? The second thing is mining. So when you look at somebody, somebody's got a very expensive watch, and then they drop that watch, you know, into a little tiny place, and they bought this watch $100,000, and then they can't get hold of that watch where it fell into a crevice or something. So they get this young chap who is thin and comes and takes out that watch. That watch still belongs to the person who bought it. Do you get the point? But in Africa, if you relate that to mining, it's the Africans that own the wealth under the ground. Okay, the fact that this young person, skinny person, comes and extracts it from the ground doesn't change the fact that I own the wealth. I own the emeralds. I own the copper. I own the cobalt. But in Zambia, our policies are that if you come, you get a mining license, for copper or whatever it is, we give you everything that is down there. So we do copper a lot. So in a copper mine, you have silver, you have gold, you have cobalt, you have all sorts of and emeralds. You have all sorts of things down there. But since you asked for a copper mining license, then you can take all those other things. We give you everything that is down there. And we're saying, no, we've got to change the way we do our mining. Our mining model needs to change. The other thing that we do is when these people sell their metals on the London Metal Exchange, they keep their dollars out there, okay? In London or wherever it is, so those dollars don't come back. Then we start crying and saying, oh, we're not making enough foreign exchange. So all of that has got to change, because we're saying you've got to compel these mining houses to bring that money back, so that we're not saying that when it comes back, we will expropriate it. It will be in their bank account. So when they want to buy anything, they should make the payment from Zambia, right? Rather than from anywhere else, because then that will mean that we have enough dollars in our country. Because right now, the exchange rate is crazy in Zambia. It's the highest it's ever been. So we really just need to think about a lot of things, and don't do what has been done just because it's always been done that way. We need to think out of the box and say what works for us. And that's what we have to do. I've just given you two examples.
Yes, I love it. This is so good. And ladies, I know that we've been having a chat. We're getting more questions, but we can't take the questions now because I have to honor Her Excellency's time. It is late in her country as well. But of course, I can pass on the questions to her, and she can send a response at a later time. That's why you have to get to the show on time. You can't be coming to the show when it's late. Come on, set the alarm and get here when we're just getting started, so that we can deal with that question for you. But I really love you, my sister Annette. Thank you so much. She's asking a question about people who are not non-Africans and how they can get involved. So I'm sure that Her Excellency would love to look at that question, and I'll be happy to pass it on to her. So if you're just joining us for the first time, of course, we're going to be back here on Saturday, and we're going to be back more often this week. You know why? We are in the UN this week. Next week, sorry. We have a session in the UN on the 11th, and the theme for that session is closing the gender gap, representation gap in nation building. So if you want this conversation, of course, we will share. We're happy to share with you the link to join us virtually. I have had so many women have sent a lot of messages. Some of the women feel like they want to pick me up. It's like, where is the link? Because we need to be part of the session. I get it, because I know that it's a topic that is very relevant, and we'll do as much as we can to hear from you. But just in case you don't get a chance to speak during that session, we are also continuing this conversation in July, first week of July in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. And that's where we'll have the in person conference where you can connect with top women leaders from different countries in Africa. Will be there, and get in touch with me to get involved. You can send me an email, Dr. Louisa Akaiso at gmail.com, or Louisa at louisaakaiso.com as well. Will all come to me, and we are happy to work with you. We're happy to work with your organization. We are happy to build some kind of relationship with you. And if you haven't registered as well, on our YouTube channel. What are you waiting for? We have amazing videos just like this one. It's going to go back to our YouTube channel. So don't keep asking, where's the video? It's going to be on the YouTube channel. So please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can be part of that. But thank you so much, Excellency. It was such an honor
Stop.
to have you here with us. Thank you so much. My cute friend is here again with his cute face. Um, Thank you so much. I love to see the children. You know, children are like spirits. They go where, they get the right energy. So I'm happy that he's here with us to bless us. Thank you, Her Excellency, for the work that you're doing. And how
Thank
can
you.
you be reached? How can you be reached, Her Excellency? How can you be reached? I mean, social
Um,
media.
so my email address is ckateka
Okay,
at Zamnet. That is ZAMNET dot ZM.
wonderful. Okay,
Yeah, and I could give you my phone number. I can send it to you've got my phone number,
yeah. I think we need
my WhatsApp
your
now.
email, and because I don't want the hackers to start bothering you. Because we have the good and bad listening to us later
Yeah,
on. You can't
yeah,
control what's happening on YouTube. But she
yeah.
is definitely on social media. She's on Facebook. Okay. And when you get on Facebook, please say the right thing. Don't go and say hi. Hi doesn't get a response. Okay. So say the
That's
right
true.
and let her know where you found her and how you enjoy her work because sometimes I see people in my inbox. It's like hi, and you kind of like said hi like 5 times and I haven't responded, and you're still saying hi. So
Yeah,
switch from hi and let her know why you're getting in touch. And of course
yeah.
it's important whether she might get in touch with you or somebody on her team will get in touch with you. But if you want to work with her personally, you can reach us. Of course, we would be happy to make the connect. If you have something good to say, I will be happy to make the connect. Excellency. But thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you again. It was
Thank
such
thanks a
you.
lot.
An honor to meet you and have you on the show.
Thank you. It
Yes, it
was
has been
really great.
refreshing, enlightening, and inspiring. For me, it has been. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
thank you. I'm just gonna get you to the backstage. Thank you so much, Her Excellency. And so, ladies, we're going to be doing this all through this week. I'm going to be bringing you amazing leaders from all over the world. So, if you're kind enough to put your country in the comment box, I'm going to make sure I bring someone from your country this week. We'll be hanging out with amazing women leaders at the CSW 68 UN conference. Let us know if there's any question that you would like to ask or you want us to take it on with us as we're going. Our delegates are excited to go. Sister Adrian is right here. I see some of our delegates in the comment box. Ellen is going. My pillow is coming from Botswana. She was commenting. She's transiting right now. And Dr. Chineme is going to be there. It's going to be just wonderful and beautiful. So, and of course, if you want to join the team to go with us next time, please, this is the time to jump on. We're happy to work with you. The only thing that we do here is that we want to be sure that you are serious, right? Because when Coach Kemi is in the house, we cannot not be serious. If you're not serious, she's gonna kick you out. She doesn't have the time. So if you're serious, we're gonna you. And if you think that we should be bringing you on the show, let us know. Of course, send us an email. And what you do, we want to showcase you. We want to show the world that Africa has got powerful women, just like Her Excellency Chishala was here. When I told you that the Sawuuboonaa show is going to be bringing the best, you thought we were being cocky. Sis, we're not being cocky here.
The
Every
best.
we are showing up, we're bringing the best of the best of the best. So if you haven't registered and become part of our community, I don't know where you've been because that means you're not ready to win in Africa. And I don't know how I'm going to relate with you because all here is win and win. So thank you for hanging with me to the end of the show. I would really appreciate your comments. What did you feel about the show? What did you learn today? Continue to drop the comments, even though we end the video. We're not running away. We're going to come back. If you have a question, go back. If you joined us at the end, please go back and watch this video. It is possible. If you're interested in the Women in Politics program, listen, drop your name in the comment box, because this time around, you don't want to be sitting on the side bench watching others go. I don't like this president. They say crazy man. Okay, stop it. No more crazy man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's push on. Let's do it. Let's do something. Whether you start from local level, but let us start something. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Adrian. It was
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you
Kind
for
of.
having me on.
Oh, thank you. Honored to be on.
Yes, it was such a great panel. Thank you so much, my sister Ellen. Thank you, every one of you. If I did not call your name,
But I have a question.
oh, you do?
I have
Okay, go
I
for
have
it.
a question.
Yes.
How many people, please put in the comments, how many people would like Dr. Louisa to be the guest for the show one day?
Oh my
Especially this week.
God.
Oh my goodness, yes,
How many people would like her to be the one that we interview and we
yeah,
Right.
ask her about her journey?
yes, Coach
That's
I
Kimmy.
would like
perfect.
her on the seat.
Woo! That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So we're
Trust me.
going to
I would.
we're going to plan it. Yeah, we've got one thumbs up there. We're going to
Yes,
plan it.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. There are a
yeah.
lot of memes
She's
coming
going to
up.
be our excellency. We are
Yes,
going to call her
You.
Your Excellency, our First Lady.
Oh
yes,
my
Yeah.
goodness. Thank you so
Me
much.
too. Me
Thank
too.
you. Thank you. Of course, I would
Oh
love to
yeah.
be on the hot bench, and just do it. I know how it feels being on the hot bench.
Thank
It would be
you.
awesome. Yes, this week we're going to be doing a lot this week by God's grace. We're going to be coming up with so many people. My pillow, I can't wait to have you on the show. My pillow is from Botswana, but she's transiting right now. Amazing women politician as well. Thank you so
I
much
was
for
thinking the same thing. I was
yes.
thinking the same thing. Somebody said, please have her on this week
Oh
so we
my
can have her on at the end, the last person for the week.
That would be great. That would be
Yeah,
great. I'm
please
happy
have her
to do
on
that.
this.
I'm happy to do that. That would be
Awesome.
great. Thank you so much. All right. So,
Fantastic.
ladies, I hate to let
Yeah.
you go, but we got to go. Thank you. It was amazing having every one of you. It was great. Please
Yes.
try to, go back and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I don't know what's happening on your end. If you have to cook and eat. This week we're going to be extremely busy. I think by the time we're done with New York, I probably would have lost some 10 pounds. I pray so, because we're going to be extremely busy, just moving around so much. Uh,
Uh,
this is what I'm excited about. So I'm going to be seeing you a lot more this week. So don't complain when you see the video come and say, "Hey, she's back again." Yes, I told you now we're going to be back so many times, because it is a conference that will bring together over 40,000 women from all over the world.
mm,
And we will do ourselves a disservice if we don't bring the women on the show. Are you serious? Come on now. We have to bring you the great nuggets and great content, and all these beautiful women who are doing amazing work, leaders. I already have a diplomat who says, "I'm coming on the show as soon as we meet in New York." So I'm excited. So, whatever that you have ever imagined and wishful thinking, it is possible. That's why we brought Coach Kemi here, to let you know that it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, she's gonna
it
kick
is.
that thing
It
out
is.
of your mind. It's possible. Whatever you imagine, as long as you think it, you can achieve it, my sister.
Yep.
So go back today with that belief system that it is possible. That 2024 is your year. And we're not being cocky, it's really your year. I know your pastor said it, but I'm telling you now. Okay, so believe me, it is your year,
Yeah.
not some
Yeah.
people's year. It is your time and it is your turn this year. But you must be ready to put the work in. So
amen.
enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and see you back on Monday. Monday, we're going to get started.
Thank
You're going to
you.
see us from
Thank you,
Monday.
Dr.
God
Louisa.
bless you. Thank you so much. Bye,
Okay.
Edwin. Bye, Coach Kemi.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. I love you.
Love
Bye.
you
Bye.
all.
Bye, Adrian.
Bye,
Bye, Dr.
Coach.
Louisa.
Bye,
See
Dr.
ya.
Louisa.
God bless
Bye,
you.
Bye.
viewers.